Hey guys, it's Deborah. I have a couple different videos for you guys. I thought I would like break them up, so each being like shorter videos. Um, yeah, so this particular topic is it kind of like jumped in there. It wasn't something I was planning on doing, but because somebody in the comments section reminded me of this, so thank you to the person who reminded me of the 70 Shepherds of Israel prophecy. I just wanted to super quickly go back over this because that's something that I haven't talked about really in a really long time. I only talked about it, I think, when I first started this channel. Anyway, so um, my last video was on Netanyahu and the Israel elections and the Kaduri prophecy and the Shoshani and Kisma prophecy, and to see where we're at with all that. So if you didn't see my last video, check that out because it's kind of about where we're at with the elections, which is about to happen on the 23rd, so March 23rd. So anyway, about this, I wanted to touch on this because it kind of relates to everything. If you guys don't know what this is, the book of Enoch talks about a prophecy called it's basically named the 70 Shepherds of Israel. And I'll explain what it is. And the book of Enoch is an extra biblical book. And I know people have mixed feelings on it. The one thing I'll say is, like, I know it's not part of the canon, but it can be used for historical purposes and other things as long as you don't get weird about it. I've actually never read the whole book. But that said, it is referenced in the Bible. So because it's kind of inadvertently referenced in the Bible. So it's not exactly like the Bible says, read the book of Enoch, but it quotes Enoch's writings. So otherwise you wouldn't have Enoch's writings, but the Bible actually quotes Enoch's writings. So they're obviously reading from something. So that said, take everything with a grain of salt. I just want to put it out there and show you guys that so many things are culminating all at once. That's all I'm trying to show you. This Kaduri and Kisma and the Malachi Pope prophecies and the Shoshani prophecy, like they're all coming together all around the same thing. The last Pope, 112th Pope, the last Shepherd of Israel, he would be the last, Netanyahu. And so I just want to show you that everything's culminating. So yes, I know it's not in the Bible. I get it. We're looking at it from like a historical point of view and a possibly prophetic point of view. We don't know. So let me just show you where it actually is. One verse in the Bible that talks about it. We have Jude 1:14-15, and Enoch also the seventh from Adam prophesied of these sayings, saying, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints. That's amazing because it shows that we're with him in heaven and he comes back with us to execute judgment upon all and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. So this is in the book of Jude. This is in the canon. This is in the Bible. This, is okay. And he's mentioning Enoch, his sayings. So, basically Enoch clearly wrote something down and he just is discussing his sayings. So I just wanted to give this whole thing before I talk about the 70 shepherds, just so nobody gets all upset about it. So also I found this on another channel. It says extra biblical books mentioned in the Bible. The book of Enoch is mentioned in Jude all these different times, Second Peter all those times, and then the book of Jasher is mentioned in Joshua and in Second Samuel, and the annals of King David are mentioned in First Chronicles. So so obviously King David had some writing. All these other extra biblical books are mentioned in all these different parts of the Bible. So they were reading the extra biblical books, but you have to be really careful. Maybe at this point, that's not a great thing for you to do, to just dive into them. It could get you all messed up. I would definitely pray on that. I haven't felt the need to read these books, but I wanted to read Enoch. I just didn't have the time, but I haven't been rushing out, feeling like I need to read these books. I just focus on the Bible, but like I said, there's stuff in there and I'm just presenting the info and showing how it ties in. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so here is what I found online with regards to, it's like this website about this 70 shepherds prophecy, and I'll explain it. So let me just read this. In a vision, Enoch, who lived 669 years before Noah's flood, saw that there would be 70 shepherds of Israel, and he called 70 shepherds and cast these sheep to them, and they might pasture them. First Enoch 89:59-61. He saw the first group of 35 shepherds as unique from the other ones to come, which represented the first 35 bad kings of Israel and Judah of the sheepfold before 586 BC, when Jerusalem was destroyed on the 9th of Av and then carried away in captivity by the Babylonians. And I guess he's quoting here. And I saw till that in this manner 35 shepherds. Yeah, he's quoting Enoch. 35 shepherds undertook the pasturing of the sheep. First Enoch 91-2. The vision shows him that all 70 shepherds, including these 35, will go to hell. Basically, in Enoch's vision, every leader is not good. I do find it interesting, the behavior of Netanyahu lately. Anyway, so, and what's happening in Israel with, the basically, I guess, medical apartheid. And those 70 shepherds were judged and found guilty, and they were cast into the fiery abyss. First Enoch 90:20-27. So take it with a grain of salt, but let's just, everything's coming together all at once now. So that's why I just want to present it. Okay, and then here is the list of the first shepherds. So yeah, it's the first 35 shepherds. And I guess he breaks them up in two. So anyway, it all worked out that there was actual, this, the numbers work out. This, what I got online, this is the actual real people. So this person did all the research, and it was correct. There actually were these 35 before 586 BC. Okay, and then now here's talking about the last shepherds. Enoch's prophecy of 70 shepherds of Israel, the final 12 kings after Israel's 1948 inception as a nation once more. Finally, after the vision of the rulers, which totaled 58, Enoch foresaw that 12 more shepherds would arise. So I guess, okay, I'm not sure how that went down, but anyway, I'll try to find the article and link it if I remember. Basically, it ends up there's 70. Okay, so finally, after the vision of the rulers, which totaled 58, Enoch foresaw that 12 more shepherds would arise. So I guess there was a 58 there I missed. But anyway, the article shows them all. To govern over Israel. Sadly, however, Enoch says that this final group of 12 will do more damage spiritually than all the other 58 not heads before him. And I saw that man who wrote, okay, this is just their own personal whatever. Okay. Oh no, he's quoting it. And I saw that man who wrote the book according to the command of the Lord till he opened the book concerning the destruction with those 12 last shepherds had wrought, and showed that they had destroyed much more than their predecessors. First Enoch 90:19. Now, there's more than one book of Enoch. From some of my research, what I understand is the first book is okay, and then the other ones start getting weird. I could be wrong, but I know the first book, from what I remember reading, was okay, and then when I was reading some of the other ones and learning about some of the other ones, they were getting weird. So who knows? Maybe somebody just started writing them and the other ones aren't okay. I don't know, but I remember there's some weirdness in some of the other ones. But the first one matched the Bible. That's the difference, is it actually lined up, but the other ones didn't. From my memory. Anyway, let's just read this. Okay, so here's the last 12 prime ministers who would be the last shepherds of Israel since 1948. So it was broken up into the 35, 58, and the 12. I don't know what I did with the list of the 58. But anyway, it actually works. So he lists them all, and it all is real and whatever. And then Benjamin Netanyahu is the 12th. Now, this is old, this article. I think it was from not old, but 2013 or 2018 or something. But basically, yeah, so it fits. Anyway, he's supposed to be the last one. So he can't really leave. And this is how this whole thing ends. It says, the predecessors spoken of in this prophecy are the shepherds who come before the emergence of someone Enoch refers to as the Lord of the sheep. I wonder who that could be. So basically, after he talks about all these shepherds, he said the Lord of the sheep's going to come, and then he pronounces all this bad stuff, judgment and the end of the world and everything. I can't remember exactly, but end of the world. Just like the Malachi prophecies, at the end of the 112th Pope, it says, and then that terrible judge will judge the world, the end, or something like that. So it's literally the same thing. After this amount of people, it's over. Okay, so like I said, it's all culminating together, so I just wanted to report on this. And I wanted to mention this, that I don't know if you guys remember, but it was said that Netanyahu would give the keys over to Messiah. This was like a thing back in 2018, I think. It says prime ministers. Oh, sorry, let me go down a little bit. Oh, Rabbi Ben Tov made a remarkable statement to the prime minister. It is very important that your love of Israel continue until the Mashiach comes, because you are going to stay in office and are going to meet him. Rabbi Ben Tov said to Netanyahu, you are the one who will give him the keys to this office. So this was kind of a big deal when this was written. That was 2 years ago. This old respected rabbi said Netanyahu's going to hand the keys to Messiah. So that was like a big deal. So I'm just reporting on this, and that's pretty much it. Like, my next video is pretty cool too, and I have another one after that. Like, I'm trying to break them up so they're a little bit easier to watch. I know some people are fine with long videos, and I do those too, but I'm also just reporting on some of the stuff because things are time sensitive. And I hear one of my kids coming down the stairs, so I gotta go. But anyway, so let me leave it at that. Chew on that. And also, it lines up with all these other things. Like I said, all these prophecies are all coming together around the same time. This is what we're looking at. So, but things could take a little bit of time, because the government doesn't get established immediately. So even if Netanyahu won, there'd be like this gap, and that could be a thing. But I'll come back and report on it to you guys best I can, should the Lord tarry. So all that said is just, yeah, take it with a grain of salt. Just all we're doing is looking at all the evidence and continue to live for the Lord like normal. And then, keep this, on the side or forefront, really. But basically, you're still doing your normal Christian life. You're, doing your normal Christian walk and witnessing to others and all that kind of stuff. But this is important, and we're excited about it, and yeah, so it's okay. Anyway, so I hope that blessed you guys and was interesting. So stay tuned for some more. And yeah, I will talk to you again soon, or hopefully see you in the AR first. And yeah, until next time, God bless and shalom.